Yeah, it is.
Karibu. This is where we are going to talk today. And I'm happy that you made it.
Well, the place looks amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So karibu hapa.
Asante.
So I know sometimes wageni wakikuja ni lazima wanapewa maji kidogo. Najua wewe umetoka mbali.
Wow. Thank you so much.
At least so much.
Thank you.
Na mimi pia nikunywe kwa sababu now we are running out of time. Wacha nikuongeze. Ili tubebe maji tuende tukae chini.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome.
Karibu.
Yeah.
Karibu.
Yeah, and this is Women in Politics TV, where we talk politics, leadership in women.
Yes.
Today we have you here.
Thank
Maybe
you so much.
you can just introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. Again, I want to say this is a great pleasure to be with you here today, Edith. My name is Dr. Sarah Kilemi. And I'm a development economist, so I have a PhD in economics, but I also have a honorary PhD in humanities because of the work I do for empowering women and especially girls. So this I was given by a university in the US for the girls whom I was supporting in that university. I am married.
Wow.
Yes, I am married and I have children, and I got the passion of wanting to work for people from when I was very young. And I guess the leadership in me started from when I was a child. I'm born in a family of 6, and I was the firstborn, and all the others are boys, apart from one girl who came much later. So during that time, as a firstborn girl, you have to learn to be a mother from a very early age. And that being a mother gives you the opportunity to learn leadership and management styles. So even before I went to school, I could manage time, I could manage work, I could supervise people, and the people, of course, are my siblings. So that's where I got the passion of wanting to work with people. In the UN, I worked up to very senior level of the UN, and so as a senior UN official, you end up not working in your country. So you become what we call international civil servants. And with this, I have been in 45 countries, and in these countries, I've always learned something. And whatever I have learned, I've always seen that I want to have an opportunity to be able to introduce the same to my people. So while working in Germany, after my PhD, I decided to start NGO. And this NGO is called the Village Trust, or TVT Kenya. And here we empower women, we empower youth, and we support education. And then, of course, when I left the UN, I didn't want to wait until I retire. I always tell people, if you wait and retire, you will have no energy to work for your people.
Very true.
So I left before retirement age, and because I wanted to start a company which enables people to get opportunities to work, not necessarily inside Kenya, but outside Kenya. I also wanted to use the skills I have learned to support organizations to be able to grow and thrive in terms of management and in terms of efficiency. So my management company does training and capacity building. We do restructuring of organizations. We do performance management consultancies, and we also do recruitment and placements. So that's what I do. But now I'm also a politician. I'm running for position of woman rep in Meru County in 2027, and I'm not new indeed to politics. My husband is Dr. Kilemi, and he has been in politics for a very long time, and as a spouse of a politician, a lot of people don't actually realize you become a politician yourself. Because if you are a woman, all the women who want to refer or to talk to him through you, you also have to know how to engage with them. If you are a man, the spouse, if the spouse is a man, he also has to know that men will have to speak through him, to the wife through him. So politics is something that I have seen is good, if it is practiced well. And that is why I always say that we cannot do without politics. What has happened is politics has become commercialized, to the extent that those who want to go to politics now, they are not going to serve people. Instead, they are going to enrich themselves, or they are going to protect what they have acquired illegally, or they are going to acquire more. So that's why politics is seen as if it's not a good thing. But for me, I have a plan for Meru people, and my plan is to make sure that we get what it takes to see a woman leading. And I want to talk this as a woman leader because I have done a lot to empower women. And I'm proud to say through my capacity building and the civic education program, I have empowered women who have run for positions of MCAs, and they have won. And so this makes me proud to know that women given a chance, they can be the best of the leaders. And I'm proud to say so, and with reasons, and also with even examples which we can give. So that is why I like politics.
Wow.
And that's me. Yes.
Wow, we wish you well. And maybe if someone asks, what vision do you have for Meru people?
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying I have had a lot of people talking and asking or telling others that you don't have a plan. I don't think there is anybody who doesn't have a plan of what they want to do. The only difference is whether you have the ability to implement your plan. There is a difference between a plan and the implementation of that plan. I have a great plan for Meru as a woman rep. And I have actually something I will call in my team, we call it Inte 10 agenda point for Meru. The one Inte is mine. I'm also called Inte, they call me Inte, and Inte in Meru means mom. So because all of them refer to me as Inte, I also think you should be calling me Inte. Inte.
It means mom.
It means mom. So we have the 10-point agenda for Meru, and one of them is women empowerment. I say you can never fight for poverty if you do not empower the people who are the majority, or the people. If we look at who are the most, or who are in the poorest level of any society, you'll find women, you will find now youth, and we say how do we then ensure that we make our families live in dignity. And I say this is only possible if we empower women. So one of my agenda is women empowerment. Somebody could ask me how do you empower them? And my response is I'm already doing it. Through my NGO, the Village Trust, which I started in the year 2000, long before my husband went into politics, we have empowered a lot of women. We've supported many of them to be in business. We supported many of them to pursue education, even where they had not gone to school at all. We have supported a lot of them to embark on building skills and the capacity to be able to thrive in whichever area they are in. So that I want to continue that. This time I want to scale it up because I'm doing it at the level of the NGO that I have right now. But I think if I get the position of the woman rep, I'll scale that up. I also want to do youth empowerment as another one. That's one, it has a lot of things that I'm doing currently for the youth, and again I want to scale that up. One of the things that we are doing right now is identification of opportunities for the youth. Our youth are educated. We are a country with a very young population which is very highly educated, but we do not have the opportunities to use the skills that they have learned. And that's why you see a lot of complaints right now a lot of dissatisfaction with the young people because we've given them a lot of skills, but these skills are not being used. So what I do is I look for opportunities for them. Opportunities could be either through self-employment or looking for opportunities and everywhere else. The fact that I worked in those many countries with the UN opened me to other opportunities and networks. So I normally use these networks to secure jobs for the young people. I say if a family has one employed person who is gainfully employed, the level of begging, the level of poverty we see will be reduced. And so that is my goal. I'm already doing that, and I intend to continue as a woman rep, leveraging the networks and the partnerships that I managed to get at the international level. The other one is building the skills they have themselves. Give them skills, give them trainings, support them to have any form of training. I always say education opens people to be able to be creative and innovative. So if we support a lot of young people to gain the skills, those skills they will be able to use them rather than having them not have any kind of skills at all. The other one, of course, is to support their talents. Many of them have talents. Like now, we need to have, one of the things I think I want to, and the plan I have for the young people, is we have centers where we promote content development. And in these centers, we enable them to have either Wi-Fi so that anybody with a content can go to that center at the ward level or constituency level and then be able to produce their own content. It will also be able to enable them to use the technology, because these days everything is being done through AI. You can make money, but you need to have that bundle time or that bundle money which they don't have. So if one is able to support them, and that I think is something very easy to do as a leader, I think that is something that we could support the young people with. My other agenda for Meru people is prevention of gender-based violence. Meru is very well known, and in fact Kenya as a whole, we are known for covering both the victims and the perpetrators of the gender-based violence. We cover them. The authorities, you go to report and you find that instead of sympathizing with the victim,
like the case that happened the other day,
they end up now making fun of it, of the person, and even blaming the victim for what has happened. So we need to have also authorities that are sensitive, but they won't be sensitive if they are not trained. So we would also have to advocate that anybody who is assigned the responsibility of dealing with gender-based violence case must be well trained to understand how to be humane in even handling the case, and in Meru for people to open up, to talk, and to report those cases. They are there, and we refuse to report because we are saying, oh, do not bring shame to our family. So that is how cases are handled. But if you continue telling them again and again that this is your right, you need to report, and even the victims themselves, they will have the courage to do so. But that cannot happen if we don't have rescue centers. And so one of the things also which I intend to do under that issue of prevention of gender-based is building of rescue center. Those rescue centers, if you realize that your relatives are preventing you from going to report, you could actually go to the rescue center. And the rescue centers will do counseling, they will do reporting for you, and the rescue centers, even if they are also for these teenage mothers, they will also facilitate some kind of training for the youth so that they can also acquire some skills, even though they are not in school. So that is one of the other agenda I have for Meru people. I told you I have a 10-point agenda. Niko na plan. Niko na plan for the Meru people. The other plan I have is a plan which has come to me by virtue of observing what is happening in Meru right now in terms of security, peace and security. So I want to spearhead a process of building a mechanism of resolving our security issues, and also training people to speak out where they find their lives are in danger, or where they find the government is not doing what they are supposed to do to protect them. It is the right of the government to protect every individual in this country, and I say every life matters. So when we have young people who are losing their lives to bandits, and nothing happens, like in Meru. I want to speak a case of Meru because I know a lot of Merus maybe are listening, is that right now we have the process, we have a case after case. Every week we are being, actually every day for the last 1 week, cows have been stolen. People have been killed. Cows have not been recovered. Nobody has ever been arrested. In a country where we think that we say we have a government, you start asking, where do these people go? Where do the cows go? Who are these individuals? Nobody has ever been arrested. Nobody has been taken to court, and the cows have not been recovered. So I would like our people to know that it is their right to be protected, and everybody has a right to life, to be alive. So if the government is not protecting the people, this is where you see people taking it upon themselves to protect themselves. Nobody would want to lose somebody. As a mother, it's painful to marry a young person today, lose the cows, and the following day you marry another one, and 2 more, and they lose more animals, and these are their livelihood. So I would want to pursue as a mother and as a woman representative. The issue of peace and security is crucial for any community to develop, and especially for mothers and children, because they are the ones who normally suffer when there is insecurity. Finally, civic education is very important for me, and that's one of the things that I think I will pursue very seriously, because we need to know our rights. Women especially need to know that nobody is doing you a favor by you going to politics. Going to politics is your right. You have the right to participate. You have the right to have a say in anything that impacts your life. So it is a right of the women who are impacted more. In fact, we should have a lot of women going for these positions, because as they say, if you are not on the table where decisions are made, then they are made for you. Do not question. So that is why I say that I want to be on that table where decisions are made, and not only where decisions are made. I want to be on the table where the implementation is also taking place, because it's one thing to sit on the table, participate in making a decision or in making a policy, but you are not involved in the implementation. I want to be involved in both the decision making and the implementation of those decisions, and that's why I want to run for the position of the woman rep in Meru County.
Amazing. Still in Meru, the other day we saw Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the way she was impeached. Is it that Meru people don't embrace women leadership? And for you now, how sure are you that you're going to make it, being a woman, the challenges? Are you prepared for such challenges?
Let me say it is very sad. It's very sad, especially for us as Merus, to see that we have become like a reference point for discrimination against women. We've become a standing case where everybody wants to know how communities treat women. I was talking to somebody in the US the other day, and they know about the cases of Meru, and they are not even Kenyans. And so the case of Meru has become an international case study for how, or for the strategies of empowering women. Yes, we can get a woman into the power, but can that woman thrive if she is constantly sabotaged? Because that is one thing we say, okay, let's get women into power. But then nobody has ever done research to see how effective they have been in that position and what prevents them from being effective. If you are constantly being sabotaged, it becomes hard. The case of Kawira is very unfortunate. And yes, true, Meru society is very patriarchal. And we have to get out the stereotype that is always there, that women can't make good leaders. And this, I guess, that is why the affirmative action position of the woman rep was established, is for the woman to sit there and be able to prove herself that she can be a legislator like anybody else, she can be a representative of the people like anybody else, and she can also be an oversighter of what is happening in the government like anybody else. So that when she goes for another higher position, she will be told that when she was sitting in that position of woman rep, she did so well. So we have now gotten her to a higher position. Now for the case of Kawira, she was not even allowed to finish. She didn't even finish because within 3 months, the process of impeaching her started. From anybody, even if people say it is not true or not, is that this had already been planned. The plan to impeach her was already there. And the comments that normally follow, you hear, I have always said I will never, even if I find a woman who is not doing well, instead of fighting that woman, try to see how you can help. Try to see where you see the shortcomings and see how you can help. So the case of Kawira is a very unfortunate one. 3 times, if it was 1 time, it's okay. But we also had comments where they were saying even if it takes 10 times, we will continue to impeach her. So which makes you wonder whether the issue was more of a case of where one is not delivering, or whether it was an agenda to prove a point against a woman. She is a woman like me. I wouldn't want to see another woman go through what she went through. We all felt it because we all had very good hopes that she, having moved from a woman rep to a governor, she will now open a lot of avenues for the young people, and especially the young girls, give them hope. So the case of Kawira, if I could say, was unfortunate also because she came in as an independent candidate. So she had no MCAs in the county assembly to support her. So, and all the MCAs either belonged to the opponents she was campaigning against. So they are from the 2 camps of those who are campaigning against her. And so there was the issue of vengeance. If I could say, there was the revenge action in it to prove something. What lessons did we learn from this? Is we've learned a lot of lessons that women have to stick together. You have the other lesson that I have learned as from this is women, we have to be inclusive. When a woman gets in that position, look for women whom you think are better than you. Look for women whom you think they can bring value. Put them in your circle and let them now be part of your journey. We also have very good men who are the ones we call the he for she's. And these ones, they should also be included. So when you come into power, make sure that you know yourself what you are doing. You are just coordinating. You are not the one doing it, but you have the expert. Use the experts as much as possible, and that's what I have done in every position I have held. I have been the head of UN organizations in countries, and so as the head of mission, I know I have to rely on the expertise of everybody. I'm not the expert, but I'm the head. And as the head, you are supposed to do the coordination. So for me, I think we learned a lesson. And as women, especially from Meru, let us unite. Let us support one another. And let us not take the opportunity that is there to be used to fight others. I have seen women being used to fight. And you ask, this is not in Meru only. This is actually almost everywhere. I've seen it even in other countries. And you ask, why is it people tend to think that women are enemies of themselves? It's not true. It is because we are the majority, and the majority of us are poor. And so because we don't have that independence, remember I talked about women empowerment. You cannot empower a woman politically if she is not economically empowered. If she is not financially independent, there's no way that woman will be politically empowered, because she will have to sing to the tune of the person who is providing the resources. And so one of the things that we could learn from this is, even as a woman leader, when you get in that position, don't think not everybody who claps for you is your friend. No. Many of them could be waiting to find an opportunity so that they bring you down.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Daktari, let us talk about two-third gender role.
Let me say that there are things that I call lip service. And you start wondering, when a lot of people put things in the paper, they put in things in the paper because it is right to do so. Yeah. From maybe an international perspective, you don't want to be seen like you are the ones who are not supporting the issue of women empowerment. But one has to ask, if it was put in the Constitution and it is there, why is it so hard for them now to come up with the mechanism of how to implement it? And let me say, the two-thirds gender rule should not only, because we are talking, at least from the private sector, it is easy for them to implement because they are the ones who are hiring. But from a political perspective, this is something that has to start from the political party themselves. When they are submitting that list of the nominations, they should adhere to the two-thirds gender rule. They should not say, because the women are not popular in my area, I'm not going to support them. You identify a woman and you run with that woman and support her until, if your party is popular, you get the woman to win in the ballot, because parties have to be themselves supportive of the two-thirds gender rule. And that is why it is not working. It is not supported from the grassroots of where the political line starts. So by the time, even if now the IBC is telling them you have to adhere to the two-thirds gender rule, there is nothing to enforce it. You can't tell them, return this, we are not having it. Or if they do, they'll pick somebody they know this is not going to go through. So what I would want to say is, the two-thirds gender rule commitment has to start from the political parties themselves before it even gets into the parliament. The other thing, of course, which is important, is for us as women. I want to say, as women, we are not going to get to the two-thirds quota we want if we continue living in our very comfort zone. You find that if I came in now as a woman rep, I have no aspirations of getting out of that woman rep position. I want to remain there. And if I remain there, how will the two-thirds be achieved? Because I want to give somebody else a chance so that I move up. So let me encourage women wherever they are. When you enter into any position, use that position as a ladder to move to another higher position. Perform and do well. And people will always say that lady did so well, we want to take her to a higher level. Unless we do that, then another woman comes now where you are. We are not going to get that two-thirds. But this idea of wanting to wait until we are given, until instead of us proving ourselves. Those who are in those nominated positions, those who are in the position of the woman rep, start thinking big, start planning to move to elected positions, so that then we have others who can sit in those positions, and that's how we are going to get the two-thirds. Yeah.
Wow. And there is this aspect where most people believe when a woman gets power, she can easily lose her home, her marriage, and that's where the flower girl thing comes in. You see, most women, ukiona ati amefanikiwa kwa siasa, people believe lazima kuna mtu amemshika mkono. What can you say about that?
I'll talk from experience. I've moved all the positions I've moved in the UN. I started in the UN in Nairobi. And after Nairobi, I moved to Somalia. After that, I moved and I went to all those countries I have worked. I have proved myself. And nobody should tell you that people do not know. There is a difference between being arrogant and being proud of who you are. Having pride in who you are as a woman. And I tell people, the day you compromise your personal pride, you've lost the ability to negotiate on anything. Because you yourself, you didn't value yourself. So I tell women, consider yourself somebody valuable. And somebody people will come to look for, not for you to go convincing them you can do that. Let your work and your activities speak for yourself. So there are people who think when women get the power, it gets into their head. Yes and no. If a woman is competent, if a woman is qualified, she knows her worth, she's not going to be exploited by anybody. Neither is she going to sit down and take a lot of whatever lying low, things she doesn't want. If you promote me to my level of incompetence, and that's something that we need to know, you know already I'm useless, and you promote me to a higher level, basically you are promoting me to a level of incompetence. What you are telling me now to do is to build this kind of image of trying to show people how I'm so good and I know I'm not, or trying to prove why I'm sitting in that position and I know I'm not worthy. That is now where you see them being exploited. Then I will tell you, where will you ikitu? If you want me to help you so that you succeed in this position, you have to do ABCD. But if you believe in yourself, if you are confident and you are comfortable and you are also qualified for it, nobody should take advantage of you. Second, it is easy, very easy to run a family, to run your professional life, and to run your political life. UN is very political. And I tell people that are playing politics at very high level, at the National Assembly level, at the General Assembly level. At the General Assembly level, it is politics where you play politics almost on a weekly basis. Nobody sleeps. You have teams. You have strategy teams, budget teams, communication teams, and all of them are working. And you, if you are the head of that office, you are suffering in between all of them. So does that make you come to the house very early? No. There are times even you come in the morning. But you also know I have a responsibility as a wife. And that's something that I tell people, it doesn't matter how high you get. Never forget your role in your family. In your family, you are mother. In your family, you are wife, if you are married. Those responsibilities have to be there. So I don't believe with this story of also saying you can play politics 7 days in a week. Uko na kamtoto kandogo, and you join a crew that moves. They move from here to there, the whole country for 7 days. You have never seen your child. And you started telling me you are managing well? No, we need to do balancing. There is something that is called work and life balance. The politics is part of what you are doing. If you are a politician, it's work. But remember, you have a life. Uko na watoto. You have a husband. Make sure you create time. If it is, I'm saying I'm do politics 5 days in a week, I have to be very deliberate. That's what I'm going to do. And the 2 days, maybe this is for the children, this is for me and my husband. We go out, we have fun, whatever it is, but make sure that you do not neglect any of those responsibilities. I have done it. It is easy to do it. And my children now are mature. I started global trotting with my children when they were very small. I would leave them in Germany, and I'm in Cuba, and I'm in Brazil, but I'm in touch with them. And before a week is over, I'm back, and I tell them I'm not traveling the next 1 week. Because I also want to catch up with them. And so you can manage. I have done it, and I think it's doable. Wow. All we need to do is to make sure that we have our priorities right. One thing I want to tell people, and especially those who are in politics. When politics let you down, because today you are winner, the next day you are loser, you have to go back to that family. That family you neglected, you go back there. So make sure you balance your family. Those who want to read, I have my book called Fogitano. You can get it in Amazon. Fogitano is a book on spouses of politicians. How do you manage? How do you manage them? And so they can also read and see how they can manage politics and family matters.
And maybe as we wrap up, just on spouses of politicians, you being a spouse of a politician, what are some of the challenges? If you can just tell us a little bit what you went through so that you help someone out there.
Fortunately, I interviewed very many of them. I think I interviewed over 35 of them, and both men and women. And if you go in my book, they are there in pseudonyms. And so each one of them is sharing what they went through. One of the biggest challenge that I identified in that book is lack of communication. Before you go into politics, it is a business affair. I mean, it's a family affair. You have to have a meeting with your people. If you have children, let them be part of that meeting. If you have a spouse, the wife or the husband, you have to sit with them and they have to know what is it they are getting into. Because politics will eat your personal resources. It will eat family resources. You end up, even some of them end up taking loans. And so they need to understand what is the implication of this. And in addition of knowing the implication, they want to know what is your role. The implication, in addition to that, they need to know what challenges are they likely to come through. One of the biggest challenge that will come through is you will hear things you've never heard before about either your wife or about your husband, if he is the one in politics. I tell people, as a spouse of a politician, you have to grow a very thick skin. You have also to know that not everybody who comes to report to you what they have seen or what they have heard is afraid. And not everybody is doing from a clean heart. Many of them are coming to you to tell you because they want to bring you down, or they're even hired by opponents. Opponents will create a story which you think is real. And I have seen it myself, a lot of the things that I have seen my husband never even knew. Because when they are brought to me, I just trashed it. I have never, there are things that I tell him today what had happened is this. How come nobody told me? Because we say we protected you from it. Because we knew these are schemes of the opponents. So as a spouse of a politician, know that you as the spouse, you are going to be used in by the opponents more than anything else. And why? To discourage your husband or your wife. So second is grow a very thick skin. There are those who will come with even pictures, watapiga a picture. Whatever it is, I will come and greet you. As I'm greeting you, somebody was stationed somewhere to take your picture. Before you find it, umetumiwa your picture. So you yourself, you have to ask, if I was with this person for 10 or 50 or 5 years, and I haven't seen this trend, as it just started, let me also see there are others, of course, who have bad behavior. There are some with whatever moral values, we call moral values, if there are standards of moral values, they could be questionable. For those, you won't be able to identify. So I see as politicians, wives or spouses of politicians, and especially talking to the wives. Now talking to the wives, you cannot say your wife's politics is his business alone. No. The minute your wife entered, your husband went into politics, I'm now talking to the wives, you also became part of it. Because when he comes so stressed, so frustrated, he needs somebody who can sympathize. If you don't sympathize with them, somebody will. And whoever won't be able to listen, not even sympathizing, give him a listening ear. Just listen to what he has gone through and they tell him, maybe here you are wrong. Maybe here you could have done it ABCD. And we have people who listen. When people listen to their spouses, when they go out and they come in the evening, the only person who will tell you the truth is your spouse. All the others will be telling you things to please you, what they want you to hear. So don't say, oh, no, my husband never tells me anything good, or my wife never tells me anything positive. No, it's because she wants you to be the best. Second is get yourself involved. Know about the politics of the area where your husband or your wife is, so that you can also, where once in a while, go into it and help. When my husband went in politics, I told him we are part of it. So we campaign the same. We never campaign in the same location, because I say that's a waste of time. So if he takes south, I take north. I know I'm delivering his message, he is delivering the same message. So I say there is no need of duplicating effort. Ati unaambiwa simama usalimiane, mama salimiana, mama anasimama. Kwani huyu mama ana mdomo? Mama salimiana alafu unaanza kusalimiana. No, if you have agreed your spouse or your husband to go into it, learn to speak and deliver, and also sell the manifesto of your husband by yourself. You don't have to be accompanying him all the time. Unaambiwa tu amuka, inua mikono, salimia watu. No. I say that shouldn't be the story here. Yeah. No.
And maybe still on that, kuna wale watu wanaamini kwamba yani politician tu lazima akuwe na wanawake wengi. I don't know how you made it to this far. Imagine umekuwa wife ya politician na mko bado strong in marriage. What is the secret before we wrap up?
I said there is something called respect. If I respect you, even if I make mistakes, because we are all bound to make mistakes. If I respect you and make mistakes, I should have the guts to come and tell you I'm sorry that this happened. But because we have this bloat and ego, ati mimi ni mwanaume, kwani mwanaume makes mistakes and they don't know their mistakes. Another thing that I always say, let the mwanaume know the feelings they have, the women also have them. They could be hiding their feelings, but they feel exactly the pain they feel. And I also say, if you love your husband or you love your wife, when you see they have done something, you feel the pain. And you feel that pain. If somebody comes and tells you, oh, no, I don't care about him, I don't care about her, whatever she does, that person actually doesn't care about that person. So what I say is respect is very important. If you respect your wife, if you respect your husband, you will not do anything that you know is disrespectful. Second, I say women, and both men and women, even if you go to the point of socializing, never lose yourself. Never lose the ability to know right from wrong. And that is where you find a lot of people being exploited. The things that they have done not in their normal sense. Why? Because they went due to lack of discipline. They went out of control because of either the socialization which they had. And so once they have done that once, the shame now goes. And they will do it again and again. So I say, I pray very hard. I pray and I always say, God, please give me the ability not to be able to fall into that temptation. And if I fall, give me the ability to wake up. Because we are all human beings, we fall. So to me, I want to say both men and women should respect the vows that they made to each other. And more important, they should respect the feelings of their spouses. If you are a husband, respect the feelings of your wife. If you are a wife, respect the feelings of your husband. Put yourself in the shoes of your spouse and ask, how would I feel if somebody did this to me? So this idea of saying, yes, when you become a politician, you have the right or you get a license to have like 10 or 20 wives of that, it is not true. And I do not think. Is it something that is avoidable? Yes, it is avoidable. Is it something that we can say that people should strive to do. I say yes, people should strive to do this. And even if it has failed, I have said people have a way of reconciling. But if I do not respect you, I won't have the guts to come and tell you, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Yeah, and we all make mistakes. And if you come and genuinely tell me you are sorry, and we are not fools, you can see where it is a sorry. But if you tell me you are sorry today here and you have another one there, sorry, another one, then that sorry has become like now something else. Huh? You can't have so many sorries. Even we say in the Bible, you are told to not make sins habitual. That you have sinned today, and then you say that's why somebody was telling me that's why people go to church. Is the sins you made during the week you have to go and they say sorry, you start making some more now on Monday. Then you go, no, we have to know you are dealing with the people with emotions. So we have to respect other people's emotions. Yeah.
All right, Daktari.
Yes.
Tumeona mambo mengi sana yanaendelea kwenye nchi yetu ya Kenya. Wengine wanalinda ground, wengine wanalinda mwananchi. And of course kuna mambo ambayo yametokea hivi. Tumeona Mheshimiwa Rais akizungumza. Sijui wewe kama Mheshimiwa mtarajiwa, what can you say about that?
Thank you so much. Let me say, kwanza Rais anatakikana awe the model of what our young people would want to see and what everybody would want to see. The position he is holding, ile ofisi amekalia, it is the highest office in our land. It is the office of somebody who is beyond what we are seeing happening right now. Now, we're looking at it from a leadership perspective. I still wonder whether the advisors are actually listening to what he is saying. Because when the president gets to the level of exchanging with those who do not agree with this, either the style of leadership or the things that he has done, it becomes very degrading for him. Second, I do not myself as a leader, and especially as a woman, given that we women, we assume different shapes. So if somebody now stands up and starts calling us all manner of names because of how we look like, there is nothing that is actually part of gender-based violence. And I would think what the president was doing, it is another form of violence, which he is actually advocating in a very strong way, because people listen to him. He is supposed to be the example we should follow. He is supposed to be what we look at and say that I would want to be a president like so and so. So this is not very good even for our families, not for our community, not even for our children. Surely if he did it one day, the following day he should have gone and prayed about it. And he said, God, what image do I want to portray as a leader of these people? Do I want to portray an image where I tell people off with impunity? You don't care. You just want to shame people. Body shaming is one thing we should never and never try to go that route, because in actual sense, people do not decide how they want to look like. Nobody decides how they are born. Next time is we'll have them making or indicating people who are born with all forms of disability. And so if we have a policy on supporting and also respecting people for how they look like or how they think, then the president was completely off. And I would like to talk to all Kenyan leaders, wherever they are, before you open your mouth, think of the implications of what is going to come out of your mouth, going to be on the people, and especially the young people who are looking up to us to be respectful, and the people who are caring in our community. Those statements were not the best. And again, from a Christian, because I'm a Christian myself, if I made a mistake like that, I would go back and pray. pray about it and they say, God, forgive me. And we also pray even for those, we are told, pray for those who persecute you. But you don't go using the position you have to also tell them off. So I think that was uncalled for, and that is something all leaders who want to lead, especially those who are calling people names and they haven't even assumed the position. What about when they assume the position? How much more will they call us? So leaders, let us lead by example. Let us be role models for our children. Let us be role models for our families. Respect one another and respect the bodies that God gave us. Thank you.
What is the future of the politics of Mount Kenya?
Mount Kenya sisi tumejipanga. Na tuko na plan. What we did in 2022 is a lesson we learned. So we learned lessons that we know we have paid for dearly. We went by the wave. And with the wave that was there, we ended up having people who do not have the interest of people at heart. And for that, I want to say, as we are going right now, we are organizing ourselves. Myself being in Jubilee party, and also being a candidate, I'm in the team that is trying to say we have to return the water back to the course where we lost the direction. We want to reform, and so we are reorganizing ourselves, and nobody should think that they have a better plan than we have. Our plan we have, but we know what we want to have in 2027. We want to have a change that is mindful for the welfare of the people, that is mindful of our children, education system, health system, all things that are not working. We want to make sure that our people benefit because we pay taxes. Yeah. To the people of Kenya, I would want to talk first of all to the women of Kenya. The women of Kenya, we can move this country to the direction we want to be. And I want to tell the women of Kenya, come out in large numbers. Go for every position that is there in politics. There is no position which is reserved for anybody. So I want to call the women of Kenya to come out of their comfort zone, and especially the ones who call themselves elite, because the elites are the ones who have let this country down. They tend to say we are not politicians. And who is politicians if you people who are knowledgeable are not going to go for those positions? They say politics is dirty. It is dirty because you have allowed the people who are dirty to be in politics. So let us, all of us, the women especially, go for every position. The more we are and the more we go for every position, the more we are likely to have very many of us in positions of authority where we can influence the politics. For the Kenyan in general, I want to say politics is not about fights. Politics is not about violence, and it is not about trying to see who is better than the other in terms of spending the money. What we need to do, if we have to change the narrative we have today, we have to be deliberate and go out after the leaders who will surely care for the welfare of the people of Kenya and who have proven record, not necessarily those who are dreaming. And for our Gen Zs who are there, I want to say again, we are proud of what they are doing. They have registered in large numbers, and we want to see even many more registering. And registering is not enough. We also hope when it comes to voting, they will vote. Vote for individuals, not necessarily, you know the people who are standing, you know those who are in authority, you know those who can make a difference in your lives. Go for those people, elect them. You have the numbers, and together with women, we should elect people who are credible and the people who can move our country forward.
All right, Dr. I want you to look onto that camera and talk to the people of Meru and, of course, give us a parting shot as we wrap up.
Thank you very much. This has been a very interactive discussion. To the people of Meru, I want to tell you that me, as Dr. Sarah Kilemi, Onte, as you know me, I'm committed to ensuring that we give the best to our people. and I'm committed to ensuring that I can give an example of servant leadership. Servant leadership is where I'm not getting into that position to enrich myself or to look for a job because I have had jobs, or to look for anything else apart from looking for opportunities that would give our people of Meru, and especially those who are marginalized, to live a decent life, to live a life of dignity. This is not possible if we do not have somebody who is genuine and somebody who is committed. As I have always told the people of Meru, I'm driven by the desire to make a difference in other people's lives and to impact them positively. So this position of the woman rep, I know it's going to give me a platform for me to be able to leverage the networks and the partnerships I have globally for the benefit of Meru people. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. for your time. And to our audience, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Women in Politics TV. And in case you have a story, you are a woman, you want to join politics, we'll pin the number down there. Just call us, then we will talk more. My name is Edith, and this is Women in Politics TV show.